Hello, my name is Veronica and welcome to the Learning Lab. I'm doing a quick series called A Tag a Day Can Keep the Scraps Away. And today's focus is on this cute little star tag for Christmas. Come on in and let's get started. We are going to begin in the Cricut Craft Room, which is where I did my designing, and I used a quilted Christmas. And on there they have this beautiful star ornament. So I chose that to use, and that was my bottom layer of the star, and it's at 4.667 by 4.431. And then I knew I wanted a circle layer on top, so I went over and made some of those to go with each one. 1.556 by 1.542. Now I wanted to have another star come in just over on top. And those are the stars that I cut out of beige, and I named it Star Beige. And when you come in here and look, and I'll just scoot this one out of the way for now, how that fits perfectly with a border around it. Then I wanted to create a mask for my smaller star, so I added another layer, and when I pull this in on top, you can see that there is another layer just there. And I also wanted a mask for the larger one, so I created a bigger circle. And that little reindeer came from Gypsy Wanderings, and I made him really tiny because I needed him to fit on top of that circle right there. So when I take one of him and put him on, he fits neatly like a charm. And that little reindeer size is 1.153 by 1.222. In addition to that, I made a little tag that says Happy Holidays, and for that one I had my base layer, which was my larger one, and I just put them in so that they would all fit. And then I came in with layer 2, and you can see, I'll move this one, how that fits and just gives a nice little border around. So now on layer 1, the size of that tag is 2.819 by 0.889. The yellow layer, that tag is 2.75 by 0.819. So I got a great mat for that. Now let's go to putting together that tag. Okay, so here are all the elements that I used to put this together. I took my base layer, layered this on top. This is that circle that I cut, and then this tiny little reindeer all fit together just like that. But then if you look at this one, you'll see that I've done something a little different to it. I've actually stamped a cute little border going around. Here I have the centerpiece and then my reindeer. I love this for a masculine card. What I want to show you for the technique today is how I got the border around there. Now with all the matting and layering in the Cricut Craft Room, I also cut what I called my star mask, and that's the one where I had the little green star that fit slightly on the little yellow one you saw. So instead of using the positive piece that came out, I'm actually using the negative one to create a mask. And I have been busily stamping with it. What I did was I took my star base, which was this. I laid it on a scrap piece of paper, traced around it. Then I took one of the little tiny stars, that was the positive piece, and I laid it into place on top of here, kind of about where I wanted it. Now the piece that I cut away, I took that and put it here and just put it down with a piece of washi tape. That's about as much use as I have for my washi tape these days. I don't know, I just haven't really gotten into the washi craze. I have a little, a few rolls on hand. Then I laid this down, and what I wanted to make sure of was that I had this in a good spot on top of wherever my base was. So it's in place. I marked my arrows in case I ever pull this off. It'd be crazy. This is up, this is to the right, this goes down, and this is here. Additionally, I took a pencil and I marked my corners. And I made a hinge for myself and put it into place. So now when I lift this up, every time I put my star down, it's going to be in a good place. Well, here's what I learned the hard way. Doesn't always work out the way you think it's going to. What I wound up having to do was take the star I wanted to use. You can see this one's much bigger. Then I placed it on the back of here. And bring this over so you can see. So I just matched up point to point to ensure I would get a border around there. And use a little bit of washi to hold that into place. Then flipped it over. Now I took my circle mask because I cut a bigger circle also, one that's larger than this piece that I'm going to use, so I could get a small border around that. And as you can see, I've done a lot of stamping with this. And what I did also with this was just add here another little piece of washi to the back and centered that on my star. And so now I'm ready to stamp, and I'm going to get a mask on the edge and also a nice one in the center. Now to get my mask, I'm using this snowflake stamp from Stampendous. Really pretty. And I'm using my VersaFine sepia ink. Now I'm going to do something that a lot of people say don't do when you're stamping, and that is you're going to have to rock your stamp a little bit. Because I really want my border down here, I'm going to make sure my stamp is positioned more to this point. And I'm going to press it and really give it a nice little rock, because I have a piece of washi tape under here. If I don't press down hard enough, I'm not going to get a really good image. And yes, I am re-inking between each one. Time for the big reveal. See if I got my star in the right place. And it looks like I did pretty good, except for up here. I was off a little bit, but you know what? I don't care. It's close enough for me. I stamped the Happy Holidays using this silhouette stamp from TPC. So I stamped it onto the base, and then I layered it onto the other card for a recap. Here's my base star, the one that I masked, my circular piece that has a natural border going around it from the other mask, my little reindeer, which I'll probably either glitterati him or, you know, gotta bling him out just a little. But I'll put my tag on with a brad or a piece of ribbon, and there you have a really appropriate gift tag for a masculine gift. Remember, a tag a day can keep the scraps away. Thank you for joining me in the lab today. Please be sure to check out my blog at inkollusions.blogspot.com. Until then.